everyone, and welcome to Bite the Bullet. I'm your host, Jay Reese. And man, oh man, today I have a good interviewee for you today. And dare I say, great interview for you today. I have Ian Harvey. He's like that friend that you just met, but you feel like you've known him for years. You know what I'm saying? He's so awesome, so down. But let me go ahead and give him a proper intro like I've done all my other guests and read off the cards here. Ian Harvey is a sought-after businessman with a keen eye and good insight, giving him the ability to make sound decisions under extreme pressure. He is naturally positive and enthusiastic with an achievement-driven disposition. Now, with his excellent communication, negotiation, and presentation skills, you will have someone with the ability to lead, train, motivate, and organize others effectively. See, Ian will always show unquestionable determination, commitment, and tenacity with his strong desire to succeed. He will always rise to a challenge. And what else can I say about Ian other than he is just an all-around great human being? Let me go ahead and bring on Ian Harvey. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, I am better than fantastic. Thank you.
Nice. We were kind of talking beforehand about certain things that you do. I don't want to put too many words in your mouth. So can you give the audience a brief overview of what it is you do and what the things that you offer, sir?
Yeah, so for 34 years now, I've been involved in direct sales, stroke, network marketing, stroke mentoring. And I think that over that period of time, thousands of lives globally have been completely changed because I invest in myself heavily, and I think everyone should invest in themselves heavily. Yeah, but I had a really big why, if you like, why I took this course. And so the reason I actually have this thing where I'm going to be successful, full stop, is it dates right way back actually to my parents, because my father, he worked for the police force the majority of his life, and during that time, it was an honor to work for the police force. It wasn't a big payday; it was an honor. And he had 6 children. There were 6 of us. So we really didn't have enough food. You know, we were always hungry. I remember going to my mom once and saying, oh, my shoes have got holes in the bottom. And she said, oh, we'll have to put some cardboard in there. So I found that really challenging. And I decided right then that when I grow up, I am going to have a different lifestyle for me and my family. And that's what I did. I got my first job at the age of 12. So while I was actually raising money really to take back home, but I met a guy and he said to me, he was a market trader actually, but a millionaire. And so he said to me, what are you looking for? And I said, well, I'm actually, I'm going to have a different lifestyle. So he said, well, you need to set goals. Now I thought this guy already was a bit crazy because I'm age 12. And all I knew about was football and goals. So I thought, why do I need to set a football pitch for a goal? And he's like, no. You have to write them down. So I said, okay. So I wrote down my aspirations and nothing happened. And still nothing happened. And then, unfortunately, after a short illness, he died. And so I was left thinking, oh, wow, what are we going to do? Anyway, at the age of 16, I left school. And my careers teacher said to me, what is it you're going to do here? And I said, I'm going to run my own business. And he went, listen, you've spent the last 5 years just clowning around. For 5 years, my biggest award at the secondary school was I won Clown of the Year, year after year after year. For me, I was just a clown. We went there to have fun, not to be educated. And so when I left school, the teacher actually said to me, he said, people like you don't build business. Never happens. I said, oh, okay. He said, the best I think you could be is a chef. Now, chefs are very good, apart from I couldn't even cook a piece of toast. So I didn't think I was going to make a big chef, So anyway, at the age of 16, I left school. I brought a 50cc motorcycle. I used to go to the wholesalers and buy watches, take them to market stores. This developed, and at the age of 19, I had my own home. I had lorries and vans, a warehouse. The only thing I didn't have, though, is I didn't have any idea how to run a successful business. And the net result of that was that ultimately I lost everything. So at the age of 19, I'd made it and lost it all because I didn't know how to run a business. So I had to give everything up. I lost everything, and I had to go into sheltered accommodation. And I remember thinking to myself, no. This is not for me. So I looked in the paper, and there was an advert there, start your own business, small outlay. And so I thought I'd ring these guys up. So I did. I called them up. They came to my house. This guy was like 6'5", and I'm 5'10". So he was like a powerhouse, and he was built like a brick. And he came into my home and said, hey, what's good? I mean, he scared the life out of me. So anyway, I listened to him, and then he said, oh, you have to pay £75 to join. It's called network marketing. Well, going back, that's probably about $1,000 to $1,500 right now. So no, I didn't have 1 cent, not 1 single cent. But I was so scared of this guy that I wrote him a hot check. That had more rubber in it than your car tires. That was going to belt everywhere. Right. I was so scared. He's like, yeah, here's my check. Go. Anyway, so then I remember him leaving the house, and I was thinking, how on earth am I going to get this guy's money? Because I think you're not going to be happy if I don't. Right. Anyway, in my first week, I earned £80. So he got paid. I breathed again. But at the same time, I took a job with the post office delivering people's mail because I was in sheltered accommodation, and so I had to get out of there. And what this guy said to me, he said, what time do you start putting the mail through people's letterboxes? Now, in England, we don't have a box at the end of the drive. There's a hole in your door, and they put them through the door. So I said, well, I start posting at 6 a.m. And he said, okay, I will meet you at 6 a.m. for 1 hour. And while you're putting mail through people's door, I will train you. I will develop you. And as he was doing it, this thing goals came up again. You've got to have goals. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, he used to get me so excited that the one day I had travel tickets to go through the travel agent's door for someone who was flying that day. But I was just so excited what he was telling me about. I put the travel tickets through a Chinese takeaways door that didn't open till 6 p.m. Well, talk about being hot around the neck. It's like, whoa. So I decided then I better resign before someone makes the decision to fire me. So I went back to the office and I said, I made a mistake. I put these travel tickets through the door. You don't need to fire me because I've quit. And I walked out and then suddenly realized I have no income again. Oh, I have no income. What did I do that for? Because he got me so pumped. I like, oh, Lord Jesus, please help me. This is like going nowhere. Anyway, I thought I'd better go to one of these meetings he talks about. So I went to this meeting, and a very nice lady met me, and she said, welcome to the meeting. And I said, oh, thanks so much. She said, what's your aspirations? I said, well, I'm going to do this presidential thing, the top position. That's what I'm going to do. She said, oh, really? I said, yes. And she said, and how long do you think it's going to take you to do that? I said, oh, well, I'm probably going to do it this month. And she went, this month? She said, it takes people 3 to 5 years to do this. I said, I haven't got 3 to 5 years. I've got a house to pay for. And she said, you won't make it. She said, people like you dream. And she said, what experience do you have? And I said, I don't have any. She'd say, oh, so you have no experience, you've never done network marketing, and you're going to do this top position in 1 month. Right. And I said, yeah, that sounds really good. She said, you won't come to another meeting, you'll be gone before then. It doesn't happen to people like you. That's the second person to tell me. Anyway, 6 weeks later, I went to the second meeting and got recognized as a presidential. So I did it within 6 weeks. And that year, my turnover was 1.5 million. So that was like incredible. My full rolling year, 3 million. So basically, from going to that meeting a year later, 3 million is what I turned over.
So Ian, let me ask real quick. So what was your determination? Was it the fact of these people were telling you that you couldn't do it? Or was there something inside of you driving you saying, you know what, I have to succeed because I got a house note? So what was it?
Right. What got me to actually drive like out of control, passion, was I'd seen my dad provide in a job. And that meant we all went starving. And I made a decision at the age of 7 or 8. When I grow up, I am not going to have this lifestyle. I need and will provide a better lifestyle for my family and future children. I am absolutely not going to live in this job. See, because job stands for just over broke. And that's how we were. We were all just over broke. We had cardboard in our shoes, 6 of us. And my drive and determination is no. And you know what? When I lost everything, when I was 19, I actually slept on a concrete floor for the first night. I just lost everything. There was nowhere else to sleep. And I looked up and I thought, this is not going to happen. It's quite strange because now Les Brown says, if life knocks you down, fall on your back. Because if you look up, you can get up. And that is exactly what my feeling was that night on that cold floor. Then I went to sheltered accommodation. Then I went to the post office and gave my job up at the post office. And then I got involved in network marketing. And really, you know, the rest of my life, I've become a mentor. I built 2 large network marketing businesses, but I advise companies on how to launch businesses. I do motivational speaking. So we just go the whole whack from here. My ultimate goal is how many lives can I transfer from where they are now to where they want to be? Because there's so many people out there on their knees asking for help. And if they don't meet the right person, they stay on their knees. Well, I lift the people up and say, come on, job is on. Let's get going. Let's get this job done. Yeah.
No, I agree with that completely. I think there's too many people out there who aren't taking the time to help themselves. Now, granted, there are multiple numbers of people out there who are definitely doing their best with what they have. And kudos to those people. So for all of those who need help out there, or excuse me, for all of those people out there who feel like they need help, they need assistance, right? Ian, I know you were mentioning before how when you were on that concrete floor, your mindset was like, you know what, if I can look up, I can get up, right? What was the mindset? Because I know there are a lot of people out there, when they get knocked down, they stay down for a while. So how do you help people transition to a different state of mind? Like, because I know, me personally, I know that was very difficult for me when I had to make that mental shift.
Well, I have several training programs that I've wrote over a period of time, because the one thing that you have to do is you have to invest in yourself. Now, because I know where I come from, which I didn't have 1 single cent, not 1 cent, you know, and I knew I had to do something about this. So what I actually do as part of my overall business now is I give anyone a free 30-minute consultation. So during that 30-minute consultation, we drill down and find out if there's a big burning fire going on inside to get out. Because while there's some people who want to get out, there's also some people that don't. And that was one of the very first lessons. I can share it with you, an example of this, because I had to learn this lesson because I felt I want to help everyone and everyone wants to help themselves. And it's like, let's go. And I had this phone call. I was in network marketing. I'm not going to mention the company. They were selling supplements. And these supplements seemed to be doing amazing things, you know, without making any health claims. It was like, wow, some people are doing really well. So anyway, this person called me down, and she couldn't walk very well. She was in a wheelchair. And she said, tell me about it. So I told her about it. Now, it's going to cost her about $6,000 for 2 months, which she didn't have. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it you for free. You're not going to sign for anything. I don't want any contract. I feel really like I want to help you. I'm going to give you all this product. And all I want to do is eat it. And she said, so if I eat all this product, do you think then that I might possibly stand up? I said, well, I can't make any claims at all, but I have seen similar situations.
Right.
And so she said, well, do you think I'd have to go and do my own cooking and cleaning and walking? I said, there is a very good chance. Can't guarantee it. Can't make any claims. But there is a very good chance. And she said, I won't bother. I'm like, what? So I'm like, hang on a second. No, you missed something here. I know there is a good chance you can do all of that. She said, I won't bother. I said, why aren't you? Which part am I missing here? I'm giving you for free. Absolutely for free, just to give you a chance. And she said, no, darling, because if it works and I do get up out of this chair, I'm going to have to do all of those jobs myself. No one will come and do my cooking. No one will do my cleaning. No one will fetch my shop. And I said, how fantastic. You're going to be set free. Isn't it great? Right. No. So anyway, so on the way out, she wouldn't have it. She having absolutely none of it. On the way out, she got hold of my hand and she said, oh, darling, yeah. On the way out, would you make me a cup of tea? Well, I felt like throwing the tea over. I make your own cup of tea, you know. So anyway, so I come outside and I rang up a good friend of mine. I said, hey, I've just been seeing this woman, you know, and offered her product for free. And he said, you should never do that. I said, what I did, she turned me down. He said, she did what? I said, she turned me down. I'm going back in 2 weeks to have another go. And he said, no, she's looking for company. She's not going to do this. You have to learn the lesson that not everybody wants help. People say they do. She rang me up and said, hey, come and tell me about this stuff. When I got there, like, not a chance. Just wanted a cup of tea making. Yeah. So I think that the one thing I learned, and this I was only probably about 22, 23 at this age, the one thing I learned very early on is you can't help everybody. Yes, I would love to get everyone off their knees. Yes, I would love everyone to be amazingly successful. But it's only when you have that first 30 minutes free consultation that you find out who someone really is and what are they looking for and what are they prepared to put in to get something out. And unfortunately, whilst there's people out there that are burning to get on with it and really want to get out of it, there's also a bunch of people who are quite happy where they are, but just say things to be politically correct, like, oh, I wish it was for me. You can't do much about those, you know, but give everyone a fair chance.
Right. To your point, I feel like you learned early on a physical representation of how a lot of people are nowadays, or I should say are in general. For some reason, there are a lot of people out there, oh, can you help me? Can you help me? But they don't want you to help them. They want you to do things for them. So like you, one of the things I try my best to do is find who is willing to help you help them. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in the way the state of the world is, there are a lot of people now, you kind of mentioned it before, are wanting help, right? I know in America right now, there's talks about another stimulus check, which I hate to say stimulus because it's about 300 American dollars. I'm not sure how much pounds that is. I want to say that's like maybe 700. About how much?
About 200 pounds.
Right. So a lot of people are like, come on, please hurry up with that stimulus check, right? Instead of figuring out a different way to succeed and to get what they need, right? How have you faced the challenges within COVID and how have you adapted?
Okay, well, previously I've been on the road. So last year I did 127 flights because all I've done for years is just travel and travel, get me off a plane, give me a microphone, between 2,000 and 12,000 people, and I will help transform their lives. That is it. And interacting with audiences. Right. And then this year, come March, all the flights were grounded. And I had a IT director and I had a customer service department running behind me. And we had to get rid of everyone because all of my clients, everyone was just cancelling because everyone went into panic, cancel. So I actually got no work at all. It's like, whoa. You know, and I thought I'd be okay in a couple of weeks' time. Then I suddenly realized a couple of weeks was a couple of months. But so what I had to do, I've never done these live broadcasts before. I am the guy, give me a microphone, give me a live crowd, and I'm out there and we're going to have great fun and transform people's lives.
Agreed, yeah.
I even enjoyed the people to give me the curveball, you know, the person who's planted in the audience to say, I am going to make your presentation as difficult as possible by asking you awkward questions that are non-relevant to what you're talking about, but I'm going for it. I even started to miss those sort of people. You know? I thought, God, I have to do something, Lord, what's going on here?
Right.
Anyway, so what I had to do, even though I've been doing this for 34 years, I had to retrain myself to do everything online, which was alien to me. I'd never done things like meetings online. It was like, whoa, this is interesting. So then I actually went and got involved with a couple of coaches who know how to do this. And I paid the price. You know, I invested in myself. I won their training programs. And now, I mean, today I'll do 18 meetings online. So now we've transformed the whole thing, and my customer service are back in January. My IT man's back in January, because now business is booming again. But I think what a lot of people do is they say, oh, things have changed. And they don't say anything else, like things have changed. It's like what they should say. So this is what I'm going to do about it. But they don't. So people sit there. I'm not talking about everyone, because some people are really trying to get out, you know. But some people will be sat there waiting for the stimulus check, you know, thinking I'll live off that because, hey, it's not a bad crack, actually, you know. I don't have to do anything now, and money's coming through the door.
Right.
But then there's other people that everything's changing, like myself. Everything has now changed. We'll never go back. Why would we? The meeting rooms used to cost hundreds of thousands of pounds for the year. My meeting room now just costs me a coffee machine in my office. That's it, you know, and everything else is let's go. And it's quite interesting. So you have to change with the times. And one of my biggest challenges I had, I'd never done this Facebook Live situation, you know, because there's no one to bounce off you. I didn't want to do it. I was, if I'm honest, I was scared. It was like, oh, we're back to the big guy walking the house again, asking me for another £70. All of a sudden, for the second time in my life, I'm feeling nervous.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, I decided we have to do this, you know, and I got very good compliments. So I did the first one, and some guy wrote to me and said, content was good. Stop doing these immediately. And so I thought, oh, this isn't good. You know, what do I say? And I know, right? Yeah, you're a bad example because you're overweight. Ooh. So I thought, oh, that's okay. You know, so, and then someone else said, because I was standing against the white wall doing them, and someone else said, you look like a convict, or you need your number across your chest. So I thought, oh, well, at least the curved balls are all back now. So they went away. They stayed in place. You know, they're with us anyway. Quite interesting, because the guy who said, you know, packing immediately, stop, don't do any more, you're a bad example. I called him up and I said, hey, I don't quite understand this, but I will give you a free 30-minute consultation. You can tell me how to do my job. I would love it. Yeah. He's like, all right, mate, I'll be there. You know, so anyway, he come on the call. He's now part of my mentoring program. You know, he paid for his course. And he's on there because he hadn't worked for 15 years. Right. And he was telling me, you're a bit overweight, so you're a bad example to us all. You know, and it's a case of these curved balls come now. A lot of people have said, that's it, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, you know, especially when someone said you look like a convict. It's like, whoa.
Well, that's funny. I mean, I think you bring up a good point, because even in my experience, I'm finding that people who are either afraid or are just miserable people tend to throw stones at people who are actually going out there and facing their fears, right? People who are taking the time to invest in themselves, just like how you're saying you did. You have this onslaught of people who just, you know what, I don't like what you're doing because I want to do that, but I'm not going to do it, right? It's very weird the way people work. I don't know. You would think that people would celebrate others stepping out and going on a limb, regardless of how they look or what their message is. You would think that would happen, but for some reason, it's the reverse sometimes. Yeah,
and you know, I have a name for these people, and I can't share it on air. It's okay. I have a name for these people because over my time, so many people have told me you can't do that, don't do that, don't do that. People like you can't do that. And you know, I don't know if you've ever seen any, but we have this thing called quicksand, and it's a soft sand. It's wet. If you stand on it, it sucks you under and suffocates you.
Yeah.
Well, I've just added one name on: quicksand crowd, and it's a crowd of people. Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Don't want you to get on, and I think the number one reason is they are jealous of your success. And so they say, oh, don't do that. You know, when I was building my network marketing business, I do training for network marketing groups now. And the one thing I say is, you know, you have to waterproof yourself because you're going to get battered. There's going to be people out there who say, oh, you don't want to do that, you don't make any money. And I always used to turn around and say, oh, that's great, you know, for you to know that. When was the last time you built a business? Oh, well, I've never done it. but I can tell you I won't earn any money. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Ian, that is one of my go-to questions. Anytime that I actually tell someone that I'm a little already iffy about, and they start to give me negative information, one of my first questions is, have you done it? What's your experience? Because you'll find out, like you're saying, either they haven't done it or they know a friend of a friend or a cousin or a mother, somebody who did it, but they have no experience.
Yeah. So for me, they're called the quicksand crowd. So I waterproof everyone. You know, I say, okay, the first thing we're going to have to do is explain what this quicksand crowd is. And people are going, oh, is it a tool that we use? It's like, no, one we don't definitely use. You know, we are not using this tool. But, and there are people that pull you down. It's like, don't do that. You won't make any money. You know, it's not for you. And all this. It's like, hang on, stop. Stop. Sinking sand crowd. And I actually have a note on my desk. It says delete and block, because I am not having people pull me down. I am absolutely not. You know, we can all achieve anything we want, but the misery club is out there. They're out there. It's the misery society. It's like whatever you say. It's like if you ask me, ever, oh, how'd you feel today? And I will always tell you, better than fantastic. And people go, oh, do you want to talk about the bad weather then? What bad weather? You know? Right. Do you want to watch the TV? I don't have a TV. Oh, okay. But seriously, so many people in this quicksand crowd, they are pulling you down, where my whole ethos is to lift people up, to actually help them, give them the tools. And it's all a bit about psychology a little bit. Because if I talk about just network marketing, it's how we can transform people's lives. So when I was actually doing this, then people would say to me, and I heard lots of people say, you know, oh, you know, all you have to do is go out, recruit a few people. You know, most people are okay with you, you know, and you'll build a business. So you'd go to the first person and say, here's my presentation. I'm all pumped up and excited. I've just paid up to £1,000. You know, hey, look at this. And they're like, no. It's like, no. Oh, okay. And so then they go to the next person. They go into the house, hey. And they go, no. It's like, no. Now they go to the third person. It's like, hey, let me tell you about this. No. They go to the fourth person. It's like, I'm sure you're not interested, but no, I'm not interested. Then they ring up and say, I quit. Well, it's the wrong way around. It's absolutely the wrong way around, because we know the truth is people are going to say no to you. Yeah. So I used to train every single person. Until you have got 10 no's, no one can join your business. Your first thing you've got to do is go out there and get 10 people, show them the presentation and say no to you. Well, think about it. You go and then afterwards you can recruit some people. So they go to the first person who says no. It's like, yes. Second person, no, yes. Third person, whoa, yes, we're on a roll. Come on, let's go. Fifth, sixth, seventh, and like get to seventh, and they say yes. It's like, no, you can't buy off me yet. I haven't got 10 no's. And this is the truth. Someone was out there doing it, and they had someone say on number 6 said, yes, I'll do this with you. So my phone was off because I was in a meeting. And so they rang my wife and they said, we need to speak to Ian really urgently. And then she said, well, he's out. Ring his phone, he's not answering it. And so she said, well, can I help you? She said, yes. I've got this person. They're only my 6th person. They've said yes, and they have the money ready. And so my wife said, well, sign them up. He said, no, I can't. Ian said he will not work with me until I've got 10 no's. And she said, I'm sure you're fine. Sign them up. He's like, no, absolutely not. So eventually he got hold of me, and he's still sat in the person's house an hour later and said, oh, Ian, thank God you've called me. In front of the customer, someone wants to join at £1,000. I know it's only my 6th person, but please let them join. So I'm like, okay, on this occasion, go ahead. Now I got home and my wife said to me, are you losing it? And I'm like, am I losing what? She said, are you telling people not to sign people up? I'm like, yes. You know, so I had to explain to her the psychology behind it. But my retention was always massive. My team's retention was massive. Because they didn't just join and drop out, because you have an honor to actually help them be successful. And so if you build people up rather than take them down, very rarely did anyone get to 10 before they actually recruited someone. And they felt fantastic about it. They're like, they were getting more motivated because they was getting nearer the goal. So the one thing we all have to do in this industry of mentoring and coaching is we have to lift people up and find strategies that they will feel good with. And it's not the same strategy for every person. Everyone is slightly different. But for the people that want to get up, we're in the right place at the right time. So,
Ian, I know there are probably a lot of people out there who are maybe interested with mentoring you or, excuse me, being a mentee of yours, or maybe they're out there looking for a mentor. What do you look for in a good mentee?
Okay, I will never actually take anyone on until we've had a 30-minute consultation.
Right.
Because I have a good track record. And I use a lot of energy with every person. So if I'm going to invest my time in this person, I want them to be a success story. It's not about the money. Now, every day I can do between 10 and 20 of these one-to-one meetings or groups or whatever. There is a crying need out there for good people. But I think the people looking for a mentor should also look for a good mentor. And some of the things they need to do is, number one, has the mentor ever been in the field and actually done the job? Because there are some amazing guys out there, but there's so many people who have no field experience, no life experience, and can say, I'll be your mentor. You actually need someone who's been out there, done the job, and is actually prepared to hold you by the hand and walk you through the process. Number two is do you read any books? I always ask people, what was the last book you read? Some people say, oh, when I left school. So, well, don't worry, we can sit and alter that. But why don't you read anymore now? Why don't you get audio programs? Right. And the one thing I would say is, when you choose a book, before you buy it, go and have a look at the author, find out who the author is, and then do some research to see, has that author been successful in the field? Because I've seen a lot of people, and there are some amazing mentors out there that have been very successful in the field, but there's also a bunch of people who have never been very successful in the field. And what they do, they say, oh, we'll try this, we'll try that, we'll try this. It doesn't work because they didn't put the heart and the soul, they didn't get trained properly. So then they say, okay, we'll write a book. And people send me their books. Ian, will you endorse my book? And I ring up and say, you never made it. You didn't do anything. Right. Yeah, but I've wrote a book now. So it should say how not to build a business, how not to build a lifestyle, how not to be successful. That should be the title of a lot of these books out there. Right. Don't get me wrong, there are some extremely good books out there.
Of course.
So you should always check the author, find out, has he been in the field, she been in the field, have they practically done this job, or have they just wrote a story about how they think, fiction, it should work. And it's quite interesting because I could write a book right now, but I don't need to because I'm too busy. But when I needed to write a book, a leaflet or something, I couldn't afford to. Now I can afford to, I don't need it.
Yeah.
But the ultimate thing is it's the same with a coach. Just like with the book, find out about these people, see what they've done, see what their results are, ask to speak to a couple of their clients, why not? Find out all about this person before you hand over any money. And I always say to people, go and look at my Facebook, contact anyone. Before you get involved, find out what about, because I'm a very high energy mentor. Yeah. So some people I scare. I know I do. It's like, oh, can you slow down a bit? Like, can you stop getting so excited? Oh, nice. Let me pass you on to someone else, because I want every single person to achieve everything they want to. But you've got to be fired up.
Well, I think that's a very good point. It's very important for us to find mentors that we are as interested in them as they are in us. Because if they truly are interested in us, like you're saying, if they are getting a sense that it might not be the best relationship, they should be able to refer you to possibly someone else that you could fit better with, right?
100%. I pass quite a lot of people on. And the one thing we need to be aware of at the moment, just for your guests, I are trying to help people, since everything's gone online, all of a sudden there's been 1 trillion lifestyle coaches appear. Now, again, there's some great lifestyle coaches out there. Some guy rang me the other day and said, would you be interested in being a lifestyle coach? After 34 years, I thought, this is interesting. So I said, well, I might be. And I said, but I don't really have the time. And he said, oh, well, if you fill a questionnaire out and get all the answers pretty accurate, sign the bottom, $250, you're a lifestyle coach. And I said, what about field experience? What about life experience in the field? Oh, yeah, as you go, you'll learn that. Yeah. And now what there is like a piranha pool. There's all these lifestyle coaches have come out with no field experience. And they're saying, oh, let me be a coach. But you've never been in the field and done it. Yeah. And so I say to people, you know, watch out for the piranhas, because there's some brilliant lifestyle coaches out there. Some of my best friends are brilliant lifestyle coaches. But now all of a sudden there's a piranha pool arrived. It's like everyone's trying to grab your money and like say, hey, I'm a lifestyle coach. You know?
Well, I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier. Whether you're looking at a book for knowledge or you're trying to work with someone as a life coach or just a mentor, find out these people's background. Find out what experience they have in the realm that they're teaching. Because if they don't have the experience, I don't know how much help they're going to be able to give you, right?
Well, I know how much help. It's probably zero. You're probably going to help them.
Touche. I think right now might be a perfect segue into the bite the bullet questions. Now, if you haven't seen the show before, these questions Ian has not seen. He does not know what is coming his way. These are questions that are thought-provoking questions, rapid fire style. Ian, are you ready to bite the bullet?
I hope it's a big prize. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it depends. Let's see how you answer. We'll see. What are the best resources that you have that have helped you along the way?
The best resources are reading and watching audio programs. My first audio program, was Zig Ziglar. And the one, I always remember it, my very first one, and he actually said, to be successful, you're going to have to pay the price. And I knew what he meant straight away. You have to invest in yourself. You have to get the skills and the tools to be out there. My second one was Brian Tracy. I'd virtually both together. Psychology of Achievement. Phenomenal book. And even now, I was speaking with Brian probably about 6 weeks ago, you know, and absolutely incredible. So, invest in yourself. But, you know, investing in books and audio programs, because some are visual, some are not. But find out what's right for you. Absolutely keep investing in yourself.
Oh, definitely. I agree with both of those. Who are the three people who have been the most influential to you?
Well, my first one was a market trader who I joined when I was 13. Well, until he died, you know. The second one who was Richard Branson, because Richard Branson is, he started off writing a college magazine. You know, and now he owns Virgin Atlantic and is a multi-billionaire. But he has a vision of never, ever, ever, ever give up. And I think the third person would have to be Zig Ziglar, because his goal-setting program was the first program I ever brought, and he transformed my thinking.
Okay. All right. Can't be mad at that. If in 150 years, science fails to save us all, and the only thing that's left, Ian, is a book about your life, what would the title be, and what would the back read?
Run as fast as you can. No, I think you know it's quite interesting because people keep asking me to write a book, you know.
Right.
And I think my title will be something around something like "Remove the Box."
The box. I like that.
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be "Remove the Box." And the reason I say that is because part of my programming, part of my mentoring is fixing your mind. And people always say to me, I'm going to think outside the box. Stop. And I tell people, there is no box. There is no box. What you're really doing is you're putting barriers to your success and you're calling that a box. So what we have to do is get rid of the box, burn it, throw it away, trash it, do whatever you want to do and start programming your mind with the good stuff, not the stuff in the box.
100%. Wow, I agree with that. Wow, definitely. What motivates you to do what you do?
What motivates me the most is watching people develop, seeing people's lives absolutely being transformed, making sure that people are clear about what they want to get and they get it. I know what a lot of people do is they say, oh, yeah, we'll do a little interview before we take you one, they forget about it. I take notes. I want everyone to be successful. And so if someone's having a bit of a bad time, I say, do you remember what you're going for? Oh, yes, let's get back on with it. So for me, it's seeing people's lives transformed would be my number one. My number two would seeing how they are smashing through their mental barriers and reaching their goals.
I like that. I like that. What is the one common myth about your profession that you want to debunk?
The one common myth is everyone is amazing who does this mentoring program. Yeah. And I think everyone should have some sort of like DNA test to say, have you done it? Do you believe? Now, here's the thing. A lot of people do things they don't believe. So part of my program is imagine this. Just imagine this. You're in California. You walk down the garden, beautiful sunny morning, and you pick an orange off the tree. You bring that orange into the dining room, the breakfast room, squeeze it. And when you squeeze it, you get apple juice. Now, do you think that's possible? No one else has touched it. It's not been on the floor. You've picked it off the tree. You've brought it in. You've squeezed it, an orange, a fresh orange, but you get apple juice. Do you think that's possible? It's not a trick question.
I mean, I don't think it's likely. I mean, I guess it is possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
On an orange tree. You're going to get orange juice out of that. You failed your first question, by the way. So I think I will be getting the prize. No, so listen to this. So what a lot of people do, they go and pick the orange, they squeeze it, and they get apple juice. When you say it's impossible, and it is, because that is an orange through and through and through and through. Full stop. What a lot of people do is they say on the outside, I'm an orange. If you squeeze them, you get apple juice. In other words, what they're saying to you is not what they're believing on the inside. So you squeeze them, and I say to people, I can't squeeze you. It's not politically correct. And I'm a married man. But if someone was to squeeze you, would the same come out as what you're talking to me about? Or do you have inbuilt fears that really stop you believing on the inside, on the core? Do you have things stopping on the core, making your belief, well, I'll just tell them that, but I believe this? Because if you do, that's fine, but we've got to do some work on you. Because most people, you squeeze them, something different will come out. Right.
Oh, dude, that's deep. I didn't even really thought about it that way. That actually reminds me of a quote that I can't believe what you say because I see what you do.
Right. Absolutely.
So, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
Oh, I think I would have known all the pitfalls that are out there, all the people that that try and trip me up, and I've took them on face value and said, yeah, that's fine. The lack of research I did initially, all those things, not doing the homework. If I'd done the homework when I was 16, I wouldn't have lost the business at 19. But I didn't do any homework. I just plowed out there, got on with it. And ever since then, everything I do, we do the homework. We learn, we watch, we listen. If someone's like, someone's doing extremely well, I'm going to buy a ticket to go and watch that person because I will know why. You always got to learn. So I would say do the homework.
Okay. All right. What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Oh, the one thing that inspires me all the time, well, to be quite honest, there's a few things. At the moment, there's a lot of people out there, as we said earlier, who really do want to get back up off their knees. And a lot of them are families that have really gone in the wrong direction. They're good people. They've just gone in the wrong direction.
Right.
And one of the families I went to see, I didn't actually see them. We had an online meeting. And I said, I know these sort of people, and so I said, what's going on then? Why is it so bad for you, and that sort of thing, They had completely lost their direction and was being misguided. And I said to the guy, so when was the last time you taught? He's a mentor and a good one at one time. So when was the last time you did a coaching program? I said, oh, no, I'm doing it. I said, why not? I said, because the virus. I said, what about the virus? I said, everything is transforming. It's all going to be online, And so I said, his wife said, he watches the virus for 10 hours a day on the TV. He said, well, not always 10 hours. And I'm like, hang on, stop it. You are investing your time watching the TV that's talking about the virus for 10 hours a day. I can answer this for you pretty quickly. Turn the television off right now. Keep 2 meters apart from everyone. Wear a mask. What else is it you need to know? And he said, well, the virus said, I've told you, that's it. Keep away from everyone. 2 meters, wear a mask. Job done. Now, he's joined my mentoring program. He used to be a mentor. He's joined. And now he's told me he's got his first 3 clients that I'm actually co-looking after with him just to make sure he's back up to speed. But you see, this is what happens. People get locked onto something. They get on the wrong track. And then you need someone to pedal and bring them back. And that's the biggest challenge we've got out there at the moment is people are watching the wrong things. And this family are now starting to earn money again. And for me, that's absolutely fantastic because I want to help the young families that are generally struggling. I want to get them up. I want to help them. And I want to help point in the right direction so they can get back to have the lifestyle they were used to, and if not better. So that's where I am with that one.
Okay. All right. I love that. If you could have a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
It would be starring tonight. Ian Harvey is getting all the questions right and will win the prize.
Yes.
It would be a case of Ian starring tonight, Ian Harvey. This is your opportunity to transform your life. Come on in.
I love
Everyone welcome.
I love it. What's the most important thing you've learned so far in your life and why?
I think the most important thing I've learned is to be humble.
Oh, yeah.
I think doesn't need explaining. I don't believe I'm better than anyone else at all. I think I'm just here to serve, and I do my very, very best by everyone. And I think to be humble is the one thing I've learned, and it's the best thing I've ever learned.
Love it. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Well, first of all, I'll say do your homework. Make sure it is exactly what it is you want. Have a practice, Don't be afraid of public speaking. There's a book and it says, "And death came third." And the number 3 thing people are most afraid of is speaking in public. The number 2 is going to a crowd. No, sorry, I got wrong. The number 3 is dying.
Okay.
The number 2 is walking into a meeting room and having to make conversation with strangers. And the number 1 is talking publicly like this. But now people are changing because the real thing they hate is going on the stage. Well, you don't have to go on the stage anymore now. The tables have moved. So now it's fine, but that's the number 1 people fear most. And I think, people starting like this is crack your fear. Just crack your fear. And now with all the technology around, we can help people a lot easier.
Agreed. What is the best tip, in your opinion, for making the world a better place?
We'll just get rid of all the politicians. It's quite simple, I mean,
Definitely.
If you just got rid of these people, I'm sure we could do a much better job. I once talked to an MP and he said, "Are you going to vote for me?" I said, "Well, why should I?" I said, I asked for some help and you didn't do it. He said, "No, we can't help everyone." So I said, "Oh, okay. So why should I vote for you then?" He said, "Well, because I'm your local MP." So I said, "I don't think that's good enough." And then he went on to tell me how, all these cost-cutting things he was doing, which made him good. And I still think it's stripping money out of people's hands. Some of these poor people need help. You can't, just because they're bad luck at the moment, doesn't mean to say you should go and, make them starve to death. And I had a great debate about it. And we do have a lot, and we give a lot in the UK, but we have a lot of food banks now in the UK. Every week we take the food bank in the UK. And it's like, hey, so for me, get rid of the politicians.
Wow. I like that answer. I'm not mad at that one. If you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Oh, I would actually say, go back to doing the homework. But at 18, I would say you have 2 choices. You can have a job or a career. Ooh. Now, a job, J-O-B, just over broke. But not much risk attached to it. There is at the moment because a lot of companies are closing down, but usually it's a pretty stable sort of thing. Or you can have a career, which is taking a few risks. And by taking a few risks, you might get a few curveballs on the way. But long term, if you're thinking, Like, for example, if you work for a supermarket, when you become retirement age, it's like, see ya, that's it, gone. Next, you know. But if you built a substantial business, my wife said, if ever you retire, I'll kill you. She's had enough of me already. She wants me to go back on the road. No, but seriously, she said, you could never retire. You'd be the biggest nuisance in the world if you were to retire. That's what she tells me. You know, so I tell when I do get to retirement age, I'm going to be a bit careful. You know, see, make sure no knives around. You know,
the funny thing that I'm finding out, talking to so many different people and just being blessed enough to be around people who love what they do, no one has specifically said that they have a retirement age in mind. They're just going to keep working until they die because they love what they do, right? And I think that's a part of the whole, I don't like to use the word entrepreneur, but that's just when you find a career or you're in love with it, that's just tends what happens, right? It's only when you're miserable or unhappy, you're just like, oh, I can't wait till I get 65 or 67, whatever the age is nowadays. I don't know.
The thing is, I ask people, where is your retirement fund? Because there's not a pension that's going to keep you alive. You get some money off the government, but it's survival money. Yeah. And what we see, a lot of people have bought their houses, they come to retirement, can't pay their bills, sell the house to some company that'll say you can stay in it, but once you die, it's our house. Yeah. And I see so many people who, for example, we just went for a light bulb in our big do-it-yourself store. And the woman there must have been about 80. Anyway, I give her the light bulb and she put it on her machine and she went bleep, bleep. And she said, oh, I've done it twice. Hang on a second. And she was like an old woman, so off she wobbles.
Yeah.
Glennis, I've done it again. Anyway, Glennis comes down to try and reverse this thing. Both of them are like swaying, trying to work out what's going on. And after 40 minutes, we just left the money, didn't even take the light bulb. And it was funny at the time, but then I walked outside and I said to my wife, that is someone's parents. And how sad is that? That at that age, and they must have been over 80.
Yeah. At
that age, they're having to still go to work. They can't enjoy life. Well, for me, I've always had a career. I've never had a job. Yeah. So my career has taken me to all parts of the world. I've seen so much. I work as I travel. It's absolutely incredible. But, you know, every Monday morning, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, I get out of bed. It's like, yes, let's go. I mean, when I do that and my wife's still sleeping, she's not very happy with me. You know, because I'm like waking up saying, hey, let's go. And she's said, will you please not speak to me in the morning? Oh, okay. You know, because I so enjoy what I do. I love what I do. It's not a job. Even if it was, it doesn't even feel like one. It just feels fantastic. So every morning I wake up, let's go. Lights are on. Let's go and get this on the road. And it's incredible. When you've got something like that, and this is where I bring all my mentors people through. So we wake up in the morning, let's go. Rather than most people wake up in the morning, like, what time is it? Please leave. You know, I don't understand this because people have alarm clock. I never get up to alarm clock. I always beat the alarm clock. Yeah. Always. But people get up and say, oh, I'm going to snooze. This is one of my daughters. She said, what time did you get up? And she said, oh, the alarm goes off at 7. So I said, okay, I'll call you just afterwards. No. I've got to snooze. So I said, what's the snooze? She said, well, the alarm goes off. I hit it and it gives me another 10 minutes. I say, okay, I'll call you at 7:10. No, I do it several times. I'm like, okay, so you do this for 30 minutes. Yes. Why don't you set the alarm clock for 7:30? Oh, because I have to wake up. It's like, oh, dear. You know, that's how most people operate their lives.
I can only laugh so hard at that because I know I used to do that, and it used to drive my wife crazy. I believe my alarm used to be set for 6 o'clock, I think it was. And like you're saying with your daughter, I would hit snooze anywhere from 3 to 4 times. So it wasn't until like 6:30, 6:45 is when I finally actually get up and start getting ready for work that I hated. So I relate to that and definitely understand that. We have a few more questions left. They get harder as we go, but we only have a few more left. If you could have dinner with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Well, the first one I'd have dinner with will be Richard Branson.
Oh,
I
okay.
offered to pay to take him for dinner once, and he turned me down. But I said, I will pay for your dinner. Because Ziegler said, take a rich man out for dinner. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it if he said yes. But anyway, So I definitely go out with Richard Branson.
Right.
I definitely go out with Brian Tracy.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. And I definitely will go out with Zig Ziglar. Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar were massive, massive in my life. To get me on track when I was 19, this is what I invested in. They were so, so important into my life. It's absolutely incredible. And Richard Branson is just a guy who has no barriers to his success whatsoever. Yeah. He doesn't care. He's going through. End of story. Put a brick wall in the way. Great. I'll put an atom bomb underneath it. Let's carry on. And that's how he works. And that's what I think it's like, because you learn the skills off them to go and then be able to lead the field with thousands of people.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with both of those. So here's the last question, and I always save the toughest for last. Okay. Are you ready, Ian?
Let's go.
Where can our listeners connect with you online?
Oh, okay. So this is one. Even I remember the answers to this one. I've got a full house. The prize is going to be mega. I know it is. Yes. I can't wait. I better just tell my wife, expect UPS tomorrow. No, seriously, ianaharvey.com. That's my website. Everything is on there. If you go to that website, you can hit a button on the very front page. It says free consultation for 30 minutes. Do that. And then after that, we can decide, because there's mentoring programs, there's network marketing, there's becoming a CEO of your mind, which is an incredible program. There's connecting with God in a business environment. There's all different programs in there. But the one thing I ask everyone, don't just go to the website and buy a package. Go to the website and set up a free consultation with myself. Let's make sure we're going to gel, because I am super powered. When I come home, or when I used to come home from a flight, because we have 4 daughters and 6 grandchildren, sometimes I'll come home early. And the one time I come home early and I heard one say, oh no, he's back. And I went to him and said, oh, we're watching this and you're going to come in, you're going to talk all the time. You don't never sit down and just sit still. And I said, no, he's back. And they're like, record it quick, record it, Right. Because I'm in there, right, come on, guys, tell me about your good things today. But the reality is the website has got some good tips on there. There's some programs on there you can join. But everything, the whole nerve center, ianaharvey.com.
I love it. Everyone, make sure that you check out ianaharvey.com and get some of his information. Book that 30-minute free consultation with him, because I can promise you, you will not miss this opportunity.
Or sleep that night.
Yes.
You have a consultation with me at 9 o'clock at night, you're not going to sleep that night. I guarantee it. But if I was to summarize, before we check out, if I was to summarize, I would say there has never been a better opportunity out there than there is right now. But there is a transfer of wealth going on. There's no doubt about this. It's because think about it. Someone asked me, how can you say there's a transfer of wealth when I'm not feeling very happy at the moment with what I've got? And I said, well, the same amount of money is in circulation. No one's got rid of it. The money is still out there. No one's going to say, oh, let's set fire to all these dollars. Let's put it all, throw it away. Let's put it in skip. And don't let anyone get in the skip to steal it. No one's done that. It doesn't matter whether you're UK or not. But here's the biggest question I would like to ask everyone. And I'll ask you a question, Jay, now, because I did quite well. This is a tough question, by the way.
All right.
So here we go. So if I was to give you $86,400 right now and say to you, you can go and spend all that money. You can't buy anything for more than $5,000. So you can buy as much as you want. Nothing can cost more than $5,000. But what you haven't spent by this time tomorrow, you give me back. You can keep everything you brought. That's absolutely fine. But what you haven't spent, you have to give it me back. So I'm saying, here's $86,400. Go and spend it with my absolute blessing. But what you don't spend, I'm taking back from you. Now, would you try your best to get out there and spend that money? It's not a trick question like, again, the orange.
Yes, that orange question was very tricky. But yes, I would do my best to spend all of it as much as I can and invest on myself.
Okay, most people's answer is, Ian, wait there right now, because I'm on my way to spend it now. You stay here. The reality is most people would. They'd go and say, yeah, I am going to try and spend all of this money.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, every single day, you get 86,400 seconds. You can't stop it. Now, what you don't spend goes. You can't change history, but you can make it. The only currency there is really in the world is time. You can have a dollar, a pound, a yen, anything goes up and down on the currency markets all of the time. But what never alters ever, every day you are given 86,400 seconds, and how you spend it is up to you. Most people let other people spend it. What do I mean by that? Well, they ring people up, say, hi, Ian, how you doing? Just thought I'd ring up for a chat. Oh, really? Now, whenever I answer the phone, I always look at my watch. And now it says, in the UK, it says 5 to 7. So if you ring me up now and say, hi, Ian, it's Jay. Just think I'll ring up for that. Say, okay, you're going to have to get to the point because I've got a meeting at 7 o'clock. Right. They go, oh, okay, let me get straight to it. Otherwise, they're going to rattle away for an hour using my currency. So to all of your listeners, I would say, don't forget, every day, think about 86,400 seconds, your only currency. How are you going to spend it?
I love it. And I agree. How are you going to spend that time, everyone?
Yeah.
How are you going to spend it? So, Ian, thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for every story and every just pearls of wisdom, because I've gotten a lot out of this episode. I hope everyone out there has as well. Before I let you go, though, because I know how important your time is there any other final thoughts you'd like to give the audience today?
Yeah, I would say never look back.
Never look back.
You're not going in that direction. Never look back. You can only go forward. Just always think, if you're looking back or going back, you're really going back in history. You're going into your comfort zone. And your comfort zone will give you what it's already give you. By going forward, you can create history. You can make a difference. You really can. So I would say, look forward, finish everything off behind you. So just imagine you come through the door to your new path, close the door, lock the door, bolt the door, get rid of the bridge, burn the boat. There is no way of going back then, because people go into comfort zone and expect a different result. The problem is that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And I'll give you one more example and then we're done. Okay. There was a scientist did an experiment, and he got a jar with a lid, and he put fleas in the jar and tightened the lid. Now the fleas kept jumping. They kept jumping, and started to hurt them. So then they decided we won't jump as high because it hurt to keep jumping and banging their head. So they didn't jump as high. They took the lid off the jar, and the fleas didn't get out because they kept jumping only so high. Now, the reality is they went to their comfort zone and could never get out. So to everyone who's listening, your comfort zone is not where you want to be. Your comfort zone is history. It happened yesterday. Don't go back. It's done with. If you want something different in your life, you've got to do something different. And you won't do something different by going back. Definition of insanity: do the same thing, expect a different result. Do something different. Make yourself noticed. Do the opposite to the crowd, because remember, 95% of the people earn 5% of the money, and 5% of the people earn 95% of the money. Just make a decision. Comfort zone, moving forward. You decide.
Wow. And with that, everyone, I don't think there's anything else I can say other than Thank you all for tuning in. Ian, again, thank you so much, my friend. Everyone, we will catch you later. This has been Bite the Bullet.
See you later.